Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Burglar Report. Number one choice for news, politics, and late night uploads. I, of course, am your gangster-loving host, Dave Steppenwolf. And we got some news to cover today, as usual. So, winter solstice came and went. Wasn't quite... I mean, it was epic. But it wasn't quite the, alien exposing thing I hoped for. We are in the age of Aquarius now. I'm supposed to be hit with a plethora of information, I'm assuming. But we're waiting on that. We're going to wait and see. And I do want to get more into that. But not tonight. I just like to do a little more research on those topics. They're a little near and dear to me. So don't want to let you down. But for tonight's segment, we're going to talk about the stimulus package. Woohoo, that's a good one. Also, maybe a little words. Pardon me, a little clear my throat here. Maybe a few of my own thoughts on this Medicare fall bill. Still hasn't been passed. I don't think it's going to make it. And I'll tell you why. Before I get started, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, BitChute, share my videos. Thank you very much. Alright, so, new stimulus package. Stimulus bill, COVID relief bill rather, as I believe is what they're wording it. It was proposed by Congress, passed Congress, and President had it on his desk and kind of shut it down. And if you don't know what that is, excuse me, 900 billion. I'm just got a frog in my throat. This because I'm talking about COVID. Holy shit, got the COVID in my throat. 900 billion. 900 billion is going towards COVID relief, and another 1.3 trillion that's kind of tucked quite neatly underneath there. Some kind of omnibus spending bill is what they're wording it as, which pretty much means a little bit of fucking everything. So you have 2.2 trillion essentially is the new bill. And out of that bill, we want to give you $600, which only amounts to around 200 billion. So out of 2.2 trillion, American population is getting about 0.2 trillion. Now, it doesn't look good. Everything else is going fucking everywhere else. It's pretty bad. I gotta want to show you a tweet, because there's a lot of crazy spending in there. A lot of this money's going elsewhere, all kinds of other countries. I need you to bear with me, because you might not like who's tweeting it. It's a man I support. Let's just check this out. Alright, here we go. Watch this again.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, 5,500 pages, Congress has read because of its length and complexity. It's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment.
That's a lot of hooch.
$25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 million for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open.
Brilliant.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given.
This is true.
Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault. Not their fault. I'm asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Shit. You gotta admit, that part's fucking gangster. Holy shit. Oh, I told you the guy grew on me. It's a little off-putting, but come on. And he covers a lot of good points. And, I mean, it's 5,500 pages long. There's a lot of shit he doesn't cover. Congress, okay, we'll get to that in a second. He got a lot of support from, apparently Nancy Pelosi said, let's do it. When he said, oh, let's do it, make it up to $2,000. AOC said something along the lines where she has already written a proposal to amend that. And maybe it's like a couple sentences. Wasn't a whole lot there. But I mean, he has support from progressives, has support from the left. And with that, Antifa, I extend the olive branch. Let's come together. I'm just saying. This is against the establishment. The whole Trump movement is a populist movement. That's what the whole Bernie movement was about. And I think people are realizing there's a lot more in common. We have a lot more in common with each other. But that's hopeful thinking. Maybe down the line. But it's like they're giving us a bare minimum. They're offering us $600. What the hell is that going to do? $600 per person, sure, if you got a big family, it adds up. But that's peanuts. That's enough to barely even cover my food bill for my kids. They eat a lot. It's crazy. But it's, I'm freaking talking about COVID. I'm getting COVID. I'm just kidding. Not denying the virus. It's a slap in the face. And meanwhile, another aspect of the spending was Congress doubling their essential health care plan. They have a local clinic they all use. Double their budget there. They all got free health care for life, so it's no wonder they're not worried about Medicare for all or nationwide health care. And that was part of the thing with the whole Jimmy Dore thing I was talking about last time, and pressuring, progressives are in a position to pressure Nancy Pelosi to force a vote for Medicare for all, which I'm not for Medicare for all. because I think that's a huge burden on the on the working class, on the system. It's going to raise taxes. I'm a libertarian. If anything has to do with raising taxes, I'm not going to vote for it. And I believe, it should be more competitive with employers. Healthcare has plenty of opportunity, as long as it's not written by the insurance companies like the Affordable Care Act. There's a lot of opportunity for healthcare to provide better for the common person. But we've been in a lockdown. People haven't been working. And if they haven't fucking been working, how are you going to get your health care from your employer? So in that regards, I'd say I'm for Medicare for all. And Congress is playing games. And I don't think they're ever going to pass it. Because this is a Democrat thing. It was big for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders ran in 2016. A lot of momentum. A lot of people waking up to... They weren't knowing. They knew they were disillusioned by the system. They weren't knowing that they were fighting the establishment. But they just knew something was wrong. Same thing with Trump supporters. He ran as a Republican, so people are still divided, Democrat and Republican. But the Bernie supporters and the Trump supporters all going for the same thing. They're just tired of the establishment politician nonsense. Like, the Republican side, you got Mitch McConnell and all those other idiots. Fuck all those guys too. They're the same as Nancy Pelosi. They're all corporate establishment, authoritarian nonsense. It's people are done with it. And so the Democratic Party hijacks this Bernie Sanders movement, and they're just keeping people at bay. Every 2 years, what are the new senators, new congressmen coming into office, or congresspersons rather? They talk about Medicare for all. We're going to fight for Medicare, and they don't do shit about it. They have the opportunity to do it now, and you know why they're not? From my own analysis or my own thoughts, is because once they fucking pass that, what fucking carrot are they going to hold out in front of Democrats? What else do they got? I don't think they got shit. I think if the Democrats, that's like their trump card. I don't know if that's a pun, but that's all they got left. So then of course they're not going to try to vote for Medicare for all. And you got big like corporate types like frickin' Cenk Uygur or whatever, Young Turks guy. He might have been irrelevant 15, 20 years ago, but now he's just a freaking corporate shield, bought and paid for Hollywood, whatever. He's not wrong all the time, but he's sitting there siding with Pelosi, like, oh, we can't vote now, or it's not the right time now. Every fucking excuse in the book, even the same excuses AOC was putting out, like, no. This is all politics. People need to vote for Medicare for all because people need health care, because people aren't fucking working. So I don't know. But the Democrats play that last card. I don't know what else they have. I mean, what else does their platform have to offer people? What is their next race going to be about if it's not for Medicare for all? We got to fight these Republicans and do this whole song and dance. It's all a fucking song and dance. It's all horseshit. People are waking up to it. Probably not fast enough. Definitely not fast enough, but I don't know. Maybe they will. We're in the age of Aquarius, so. In any case, thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe, share my videos. And I'm just a little freaking froggy throat today, so hopefully it doesn't come too bad in the audio. And have a good night.